we started learning about certain services that you had to be on waiting lists for, and it was all very overwhelming at that time because you don't understand what's going on. You don't know why your child is acting the way that they are.
I think it was right before she was diagnosed. We knew something was wrong, but we just didn't know what was wrong.
Julie is thankful that they got a good case manager, one who does not work for a managed care organization, and they eventually got Megan on the waiver. A long time passed before Megan left the waiting list. When it did, Megan qualified for supportive home care and respite. Up to that point, the family was quickly running out of resources. However, even as Megan and her family received some services, they were still left to wait for all of the services that were needed, according to her personal plan of care.
We pulled her out of school, and that kind of drained all of our retirement and everything, but we didn't know what else to do because she couldn't have been in a regular education school.
Megan received services via the DD waiver until she was 15, when she had a feeding tube installed and transitioned to the technology-assisted waiver.
You never know what's going on in the house next door to you, and you don't see a lot of these kids out in public, and so unless you are in a home or you're close to somebody that has a child that needs these services, you just have absolutely no idea how important they are.
I'm thankful for all the services that we get because most families don't get them. I mean, it's not much as help as we get, and it's hard.
Megan's younger sister, Mandy, says when her family couldn't get services, she felt trapped.
It's like you get home from something really fun and then something really serious is happening.
Give me a smile.
You think I'd be able to go to your orchestra concert tomorrow if we didn't have services?
No. I probably wouldn't be able to go.
Either I would be in a mental institution probably if I didn't have services, or she would have to be institutionalized because I wouldn't be able to care for her.
Sometimes that'll make you smile when you get kisses.
Julie says she's done nothing but love her child like parents do. She says she's done whatever she can for Megan, but she needed the assistance. She needed the help.
From a budget standpoint, if those services aren't available, these kids are going to end up being wards of the state. That's going to cost a lot more money in the long run.
Julie was fortunate enough to start her own business from home. She was somewhat successful amidst making sure Mandy was attended to around the clock.
I'm still struggling really hard, and I would probably qualify for food stamps or some other type of welfare. I choose not to go that route, and because I know that there are other people that are out there that need it. But if my services were cut, I wouldn't have any other choice because there's no way I could work. I wouldn't be able to have an income.
Julie felt isolated until Megan started getting services. She couldn't go anywhere or do anything. Funding allowed the family to have as normal of a life as possible.
We've had her for almost 7 years past what is considered old for that disease. And so I'm grateful for every day that I do have, but the toll that it takes on the families, it's emotionally, one day we're doing well, the next day, her oxygen level is low and we don't know what's wrong.
We've talked about some things, some really tough things when hospice has been out. She'll get tears that run down her face.
Megan began having complications and her family didn't think she'd survive past Christmas of 2011, but she did. Less than a year later, she died at home in November of 2012.
So the individual crisis is on us right now. The state crisis is the crisis that comes when you don't take care of the basic needs of the state. If we were talking about bridges collapsing, the state would respond immediately. It's hard to understand why they cannot see the devastation affecting these lives as of an equally great crisis.
But I think the solution is much more than just a few million more dollars for this service or that. I think we really need to look at a long-term plan of how do we address the needs of people and how do we address the needs of people efficiently and effectively.
This video has been brought to you by the End the Wait campaign and was made possible through a generous grant from the Kansas Council on Developmental Disabilities.